Hello and welcome to the Lincolnshire Buzzcast, a podcast where we take a real-life humorous look at life in Lincolnshire, as well as interview some amazing people who are doing some fantastic things in the county. I'm Lizzie.
I'm Danny.
And I'm Hannah.
Coming up in the podcast today, Danny finally gets Lizzie to himself and he uses it as an excuse to ask her 36 questions that might lead to love.
All of you super villains out there, the superhero that is Lizzie finally admits what her kryptonite is.
Hello and welcome to the Lincolnshire Buzzcast. Today we have back with us Danny at long last. How are you and did you miss us?
I'm okay, thank you. How are you?
I'm good. Sorry, I asked, did you miss us?
Yeah, no, I was getting to that.
Getting over it.
Yeah, I definitely.
Did you miss us? I'm good.
I definitely miss you both. I didn't mean for that to be avoiding the question.
You absolutely were avoiding the question. For the keen listener, you might also notice that Hannah is not here with us today. It's almost like they are both Superman and Clark Kent. Like you can't be in the same room anymore. Are you the same person?
We are. We're both like. I've got a Yorkshire accent. That's what I'm going to do throughout the rest of this podcast. Is just have a Yorkshire accent.
Oh, please do.
No, that would be extremely offensive to the people of Yorkshire.
Is that like when you tried to have an Essex accent in the murder mystery we did, or whatever it was you tried?
I don't really know what accent that was. It kind of morphed into lots of things, didn't it? I'm good at accents. I genuinely am good at accents. But no, I am. No, I get told that a lot. Genuinely, I promise. That's not me. Like, yeah, I do.
I kind of feel like we need to test that a little bit.
Oh,
like,
God, not in this. Not in this.
Because you think it might offend the nation.
Yeah, it might be really offensive to Irish people or Brummie people or.
I'm really good at accents. Not good enough for me to actually tell people about it, though. Or demonstrate the ability. Whereas Hannah, we know, is very good at Scottish.
She is good. Yeah, she does have one great Scottish accent. She does have that.
She is, yes.
In her locker.
Scottish and Yorkshire, they're two very,
both northern though, aren't they? Both northern.
Yeah. Maybe we should try and get her to do a London.
Yeah, get her doing some Cockney. All right, Governor.
Well, I think actually what's interesting about accents, whenever I try to do them, sometimes I can do, but only certain phrases. So my husband is half Welsh and he can say like, whose jacket is this coat? I don't know what that means, but that's the only thing he can say on something about a house or something like that. I don't know. But they're the only like Welsh things he can say in an accent. I can't clearly because I've just tried and it was terrible. But like,
you could probably say that you come from Wales. I come from Wales.
It's usually it's a place name, isn't it? So I can go. I'm trying to think of one now, but I can't do it. Australia?
Oh my God. No, you can say like, all right, I'm from Birmingham.
Yeah.
All right. No, okay.
But is it Newcastle?
Yeah. Aye.
But again, if you try and do
just sounds.
Just if you try and say actual words as a sentence, you can't do it. It's just sounds like because I can start off well, like I can do that. Say more things. No, that's it now.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's where it was hard on that murder mystery thing. Constantly, and also my character was technically Geordie, and I was trying to say like "Howie," but in a London accent.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. So I do a bit of amateur acting, as you know, and sometimes like the scripts, if they're from a certain place, they're written in that like language. Like when we did the murder mystery, I was Yorkshire, and it was written in Yorkshire speak. So I guess it's easier to then do. When it's not, it's much harder. I've had to try and do like a Cockney one once, and it's just not happening. I can't do it. It's not in my locker.
I love a Cockney accent. I love a Cockney. My granddad's Cockney, and yeah, I love his accent. To be fair,
although I think my accents have got better since I read to my children because I like to do the voices, and sometimes to distinguish between the characters, I like to put accents on them. So there's a book series called Oi Frog, and the frog's always Scouse. For some reason.
Yeah.
There's a book about dogs don't do ballet, and the dad in that is always very Yorkshire because I think it goes, dogs don't do ballet. I just think it's good. It goes.
I can definitely imagine a Yorkshireman saying that.
So I like to put on the accent. So Harry does get a full performance when he gets his stories read to him. Absolutely. So he it's my accents are improving as a result of reading books. But it's just when I've committed to an accent. So like the Oi Frog thing, I started off. The cat was very posh, the frog was very scouse, but then the book series continues and Oi Dog comes in and there's extra characters, and so I had to add I think the dog was from Birmingham, but then I got confused because there's too many strong accents, so I started to like mix between them all because it's just too hard. I have too much pressure for myself reading these stories.
Your little boy is so confused as well, isn't he? Oi Dog, but he sounds like Oi Frog.
Yeah, but he gets really annoyed now as well because actually, so we were doing The Faraway Tree, which is a beautiful book. Lots of people, I read to my daughter, I've read it to my son. Lots of people, it's a very old Enid Blyton book. And he gets Moonface, who's the character in it, has a very specific voice. Like, it talks like this is what I decided. And very occasionally, either someone else would read it or I'd sort of slip up a bit and he goes, "That's not Moonface's voice, do it again."
I like the fact that he sounds like he's like a mini director. No, Harry. Just sounds like he's always like, it's just like, no.
You really get the emotion of Moonface.
Yeah, you just need to be more moony. Be more moony.
An exciting episode. We thought we'd do something a little different this time, didn't we, Danny? As it was just me and you. We've got no guests. You'll notice that we didn't put one out on Sunday as usual, but as all football clubs everywhere and associated charities and people with them was on a social media ban all weekend, so we decided that it wouldn't be a good idea to put one out and we'd pause it a little bit more and put it out today. So yeah, but we thought we'd do something a little bit different as to our other thing and give ourselves a little quiz. But this is a quiz that Danny has found, and I'm a little bit worried about the title. Danny, do tell us more.
I didn't really think that you'd ask me to name it. Okay, I'm going to embrace it. So it is called 36 Questions That Lead to Love. Now,
Danny's promised me that this isn't him hitting on me. He has promised me that. But what is this actual quiz for?
Much to your disappointment, I might add. Much to your disappointment.
I know. I'm absolutely outraged.
Outraged. So the idea of it was from something that I was a part of, which you'll laugh at because it was a CPD.
Yeah, of course, Mr. CPD was on some CPD.
And it was to do with connection and the importance of human connection, and it was used in a camp from an English national team of some sport, rugby, I believe, and quite famously used, and it was designed to bring them all together a little bit further and stimulate conversation and allow them to be a bit more vulnerable between themselves.
So this was rugby players falling in love with each other. Is this what you're saying?
Yes, I mean, yeah. It was the quiz wasn't designed for that purpose, but the quiz was taken and then used for that purpose because the questions kind of elicit that kind of response. That kind of response that is kind of. Have I just used the word elicit in this? Really? They bring up.
Keep it in.
They bring about those kind of responses to the questions that are just nice questions and really interesting questions that make you really think introspectively.
Okay.
Again, should I have used that word?
You just did. So what me and Danny are going to do today is we're going to run through this quiz. If you want to do the quiz yourself, either with a partner to see if how in love you are, or that might lead you to be in love more, I guess, or
the opposite,
or out of love.
This is over.
Or you want to do it with your teammates or anything like that, then you just need to Google 36 questions that lead to love and look for the New York Times link, and they're all on there. I haven't read this through. Danny obviously has, Mr. CPD. So we're going to just jump right in and ask each other the questions until it gets too awkward to answer. And what a wonderful journey for the listeners that will be.
Try and figure out at which point it gets too awkward.
So, first question number 1 is, given the choice of anyone in the world, whom would you want as a dinner guest? Oh, that's interesting, because that's our actual questions that we have, but never asked each other. Whom would you have as your dinner guest? Just one.
I would say I quite liked. I can't remember who it was from the Stacey West. Who it was who said it. I think it was possibly from that, who said about their dad or their granddad that passed away. For me,
could be Gary.
Yeah, for me, it wouldn't be someone that how would it be? I don't know. I like the idea of that. For me, I guess it would probably be someone that I wouldn't already have the opportunity to have dinner with. So it would be. Oh, it's really hard. One, isn't it? Aren't you finding it hard? Because I'm going first.
What an interesting podcast this will be. It was just be us thinking. I don't know.
But you know what I mean? Like, one is hard, isn't it? I can't remember who I said when I did this. I think I would probably say George Best.
Why George Best?
Obviously Manchester United legend, but also just lived. I know he lived a short life, and I know he had problems, but I think he did live life to the full whilst he was here. And life should be about that, I think, to a degree.
I like it. That's interesting. I think, Stephen Fry is always usually at the top of my list just because he's a fantastic person. He's lived such a great life, and he's come through a lot as well in his life. So, and he's just such an interesting guy. He has a lot of knowledge, and I think you can just sit and just listen to him all day. However, there's a bunch of people really to nail down. I'd quite like Queen, just because she's such a private person, so I don't think you ever really know her. So it would be nice to have her in a room. It sounds like I'm holding her hostage, I understand. But without anyone.
That's you being wrote down on some sort of government list.
With anyone sort of there, telling her what to say, or no sort of things and nothing leaves the room, anything like that, and just actually see who she is as a person, because she's been our monarch for 50, 60 odd years, and I want to know certain things. I want to know how she.
Would you ask if she watches The Crown?
Oh, I'd definitely ask if she watches The Crown. And I want to know how accurate some of it is and some of it isn't. But I don't know, just things, I want to know if she's happy, actually. I'd actually quite like to know if she's happy, because she was born into that. She had no choice to be a queen.
Really tough.
She's born, I know she's lived quite a privileged life in some ways, but she's also, unprivileged in a way that she's never had any freedom either. So part of me wants to actually just find out if she's happy. To the Queen.
I want to find out if she's called Lizzie or not.
I feel like she's more of a Liz, actually.
Because she's got to the age where she's a Liz. You'll get there.
I don't want it. Everyone always calls me Liz. It really irritates me. Everyone always shortens my name to Liz, and I'm not old enough to be a Liz. I don't think it's
No, Liz is an older thing, isn't it?
It is, and a lizard name. I'm neither old or a lizard, so I am Elizabeth or Lizzie.
A lizard name?
Yeah.
I thought I heard that right. I was like, did you just say that?
Liz the lizard. What else would you call it? I have a lizard and it's called Draco, but it's a boy. I won't call a boy lizard Liz. I'm not insane.
Well, that doesn't categorically rule out that. Let's be honest. Anyway,
okay.
Second question.
2.
Would you like to be famous, and in what way?
Well, I do like to consider myself an actress in some way, shape or form, so I probably would say yes. I have actually always chased that in some way. I appreciate there are certain amounts of negativity that comes with that, so I'd like to be famous for the craft and actually be able to do what I loved to do for a living. It would be amazing to be able to act and be paid for it. I wouldn't intense I am my family, probably more to, it's quite difficult in that kind of way, but I don't think you can pick and choose. It sort of does come with the territory a little bit. But yeah, no, I think I'd like to be famous for acting. I think just because I'd like to be able to do that for a living. I think, that is my passion. Although I think actually it's maybe nicer to, and I'm talking myself back out of it now, but doing it as a hobby means I get to just do it Well, I can go for roles if I like them. I can, I get paid to do something else, not act. So I get the joy in it. And maybe if you did it for a living, it would become less
job.
fun.
Yeah, it would become a real job that comes with all its potential trappings. Yeah, that's a good point. I think you kind of explained both sides of it really well there in terms of the pros and cons of being famous. I think for me, if I was to be famous, then like you said, like you accept all of its cons. Like if I was to be famous, I'd want to be famous for being in an unbelievable rock band like Oasis.
Rock band? I thought you'd have gone for like, Coach Carter. I thought you.
It's how I want to be. Like again, there's a level. I mean, we've just spoke about the reason why there was a social media boycott at the weekend. Like the level, the level of abuse that their families get. Like I just would never want to subject my family to that ever. Like, I'm a deeply private person anyway. Like I'm fiercely private anyway, and once you're in the circle, you're in the circle. I'll trust whoever, but like outside of that, I don't, and I would find that really, really hard to control. And I don't know. Like if I'm in it, I'm in it. So I want to be famous for like something unbelievably cool, like being in Oasis or Arctic Monkeys or something like that. But
just Danny Carter, the new member of Oasis, it's reformed. Thanks to Danny. Woohoo!
Or a band like that.
Missing
I mean?
piece all this time. He's brought the Gallagher brothers back together.
Wow. Thanks for belittling that. But yeah, that was that's something like that. I think if I'm in it, but if you were to give me the choice, after everything that I said, I'd say no. I don't want to be famous. Like I want to do something that that endures past my lifetime, which sounds really cheesy, but I definitely do. I want to do something that endures past my lifetime, but I don't need to be famous because of it. In fact, I would shun most things to do with fame because of it. I think I just don't like the idea of that.
I think we both talked to each other ourselves out with being famous. Actually, I've started off being like, yes, I'd love to be famous. I want to act for a living, but actually, no. You're right. Some of the abuse that people get online is horrific. Like those things wouldn't be said to someone to their face, like ever. No, like you just read it sometimes. You're thinking, wow, do you not realise there's a person on the end of that reading it? Like it's awful.
Yep.
So yeah, I agree.
Absolutely.
No fame for us. Number 3, before making a telephone call, do you ever rehearse what you're going to say and why?
No, I don't. To be honest with you, I'm quite a confident person. Like I don't think I ever rehearse it. I get nervous sometimes, I think, for certain phone calls, but I don't rehearse it. I just tend to not wing it. But I don't know, I'm quite a confident person, so no, not me. What about you?
I'm going to have to admit something with this question. I have done that several times. I panic when I get a voicemail. So I'm ready to make a call and talk to someone on the other end of it. But when I get a voicemail, bad things happen to me. So I at one point, way back when I was dating my ex, I used to leave a series of really bad voicemails on his voicemail. I don't know how we lasted for as long as we did as a result of this, because I wouldn't know what to say. So I would... my problem was with ending a sentence. So I'd say like, hi, I was just calling to see what you were up to and if you wanted to go out later, and then I'd add that addition on and have nothing later to say. So I'd go, and yeah, that's what I was calling for, just to say that. And then I got myself stuck in a loop of just and with nothing left. So it'd just be a sentence of go around in a circle and yeah, that's it. So, and call me back. Bye. And then I had to be there like for days thinking, how do I retrieve that voicemail? That's so embarrassing. But I just kept doing it all over. I just can't end a sentence. I just add an additive, a connective to it, and with nothing to connect to. So yes, I have started rehearsing my voicemails because it took me to a bad place.
You're probably a wiser person than I am then, because I just tend to wing it. When it comes to voicemails especially, I just be like, yeah, blah, blah, blah. See ya. And then...
Yes, but you don't have my connectivity problem. Like, did you add an and onto it with nothing left to say?
No, I definitely didn't do that. I definitely don't do that. No. And to be fair, for the most part, I don't really leave people voicemails. But most people will get really... If anyone that I know listens to this, they'll probably tell you that I'm pretty awful when it comes to just getting back to people and stuff like that. Like I'm not the best at that.
She's not here, but Hannah's voicemail does make me laugh every time I listen to it because she goes, "Hi, it's Hannah. Don't leave me a voicemail because I probably won't listen to it," or something like that. And it always makes me laugh. I was like, "Oh, I love how she got straight to the point. Like, don't leave me a message. I'll just call me back."
Yeah, no, I like that. I know what you mean. It is something similar to that. Right,
Okay.
next question. What would constitute a perfect day for you?
So I think I've changed over time. Like old me would have been like, oh, going out and doing loads of stuff and seeing things and like exploring the world and all that kind of stuff. I think I've become a little bit more of I don't know if it's lockdown or it's just age, but actually my perfect day doesn't probably constitute seeing an awful lot of people, which sounds really awful. But I think...
all your family's listening to this and thinking, oh.
I think my perfect day would be I'd have a light-in. Obviously, that'd be great. There's a rare now. I'd probably read a book. I don't often get a chance to like just sit and read a book with peace like that, which would be quite nice. So I'd quite like the morning to myself, like to do that kind of stuff, have a bath, read a book, listen to a podcast, anything that's just gives me time to like be me for a little bit. And then probably spend the afternoon doing something outside with the kids and immediate family, like a picnic. We do like picnics at our house. My son is a picnic. I feel like he'd turn into one. He always wants a picnic. So it'd be nice to sit and have like a picnic, go for a walk in the woods, do that kind of stuff. And with no arguments. The children has no arguments. That would be really nice. They're all in a good mood. They're all well there. Everyone's in a good mood. Everyone's well fed. Like we've got money. Like, no stresses of the day. It would just be lovely. What about you?
First of all, that sounds like a lovely day.
Thanks.
It does sound like a lovely day. I think I'd be pretty much the opposite to you. Like, the perfect day, I almost treat the perfect day as if it would be my last day, which sounds really, but I mean, like, the perfect day for me are those days where they're just like absolutely rammed packed with things that you love. So for me, I probably would get up early. I'd have an amazing breakfast.
Oh yes, I forgot that breakfast is key to my perfect day.
Yeah, I'd have an amazing breakfast. I'd probably chill out in the morning with whoever, and then in the afternoon / evening, I'd love to spend it with my mates and my family. I think all of them, with some great food and drink, and that would continue for the rest of the day. I think it'd probably have to involve. It'd have to involve some kind of physical activity of some kind during the day, maybe in the morning or early afternoon before anything. So whether it be like a trip somewhere or football or something like that, it'd have to have that in it. And it'd have to have great music, maybe even great live music. I love a gig. So maybe something like that, but definitely with my friends and family there. That doesn't happen often enough. And I feel really grateful for the times where I've had all my friends and family in the same room or around the same time together. So yeah, I think that's what it would be.
I like it. I love all those things. I just probably don't think I could do it all in one day. I hate rushing around to places. I hate like I have to be here now. Like it just happens all the time. I love all those things. Can I have a perfect week? Do it one a day.
That's the idea of a perfect day. It does make you think though when you answer that question. It does make you think like, I need to go and do that. Like, because if that's my perfect day, then I need to make more time for that. That does me anyway. I don't know about you.
No, absolutely. I think it's just important to, I've had that day. Like it was really nice. And I think I've probably had some relatively perfect days. It's probably happened at one point that we've done that. There does have to be some sort of pig flying to make sure that my kids are both happy at the same time, however, but I'm sure it's happened at one point.
Yeah. I think learning to see the good things in every day is really important, isn't it? Because
absolutely.
Like today's not been a great day, but there were moments in it where I was like, that maybe made me smile or laugh or, yeah.
Yeah, no, I think it's really for everyone's sort of mental health and things like that. We do all need to get better at cherishing some of not every day is going to be perfect, but they have perfect moments in them.
Yeah, I like that.
So question 5 5, when did you last sing to yourself or to someone else? This will be interesting because obviously I've literally did this before we did this podcast to you.
It'd have been yesterday in the car. Yeah, I sang to someone because I to be honest with you, I don't know if you would ever suspect this of me, Lizzie, but I love singing. I love singing. I can't sing.
I think I did know this about you because we did say we wanted to go to karaoke bar together and sing.
Yes, because I know you'd be amazing at it, and I know I'd have such a great time. Me and you would do some amazing duets.
I'm not so great about singing, but I put my all into it.
Great
time.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, like I love singing, but I can't sing at all. But I love music. Music's one of my favourite things in life, and yeah, I love all sorts of different songs. So my range, I say range, I use that term loosely, but my range is
that of Freddie Mercury. I can do.
Certainly not. It's more Barry White, and exclusively Barry White. Baritone, I think is what is that the right?
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know. Probably. It sounds right.
What about you?
Well, we know the last time I sung to someone because it was a couple of minutes before we started this podcast thing when I was singing Typhoons to you.
Oh, yeah.
Trying to get you to know what song I was talking about, which, by the way, everyone is Typhoons by Royal Blood. Danny didn't get it from that. I don't really know why that's not.
No, but all the cats in my local neighbourhood were pricking their ears up.
I do love to sing, and there's some songs I know I can sing all right. That's not one of them.
That's good because I was worried that you thought that was all right.
No, that is certainly not one of them. I used to be able to smash, All Saints, Never Ever. I used to be really good at that on karaoke.
No, sing it.
No. Absolutely not. I can't sing one-on-one to someone. I could sing a bar full of people.
All Saints, Never Have I Ever.
Never Ever?
Oh, Never Ever. No, I like Oasis will be me. Slide Away, Oasis.
There's one Oasis song I love to sing, Half the World Awaits.
Yeah, beautiful song.
I love that song. Absolutely love that song. And I love to sing that on karaoke. It's one of my favourite songs ever, actually. It's one of my favourite songs ever. So I love that song. I love a Queen song. I just love singing. I do it all the time. My kids are used to me singing. I'll sing in the car all the time. If they're a bit mad or anything like that, we'll sing. In fact, we were driving home the other day and we were singing, which I thought actually was probably not okay for my 5-year-old to be singing, but it's the Bruno Mars 24K Magic.
Oh, yeah.
So we sing along to that. I'm thinking he has no idea what this means, but it's probably not okay for him to sing. But actually, on reflection, as a kid, I sung a lot of songs that absolutely were not okay for me to sing. Spice Girls, Two Becomes One. When I actually grew up and learned what that lyric was about, I was like, I used to sing that in my room as a 9-year-old. That's not okay.
Yeah.
No, I love singing. I'll sing in the kitchen all the time. I'll sing to wind them up. I'll sing to make them laugh. We always sing "Shut Up and Dance" in the car really loudly if I need to put them in a good mood. So we sing that together.
Yeah, I have songs like that to put me in a good mood. You know, an embarrassing story. My nana once made me and my brother sing Enrique Iglesias' "Hero" at the working men's club that they used to go to. And I was about 8 or 9, and my brother absolutely loved it. Me, at that time, I thought I was way too cool for that. Absolutely hated it. And my brother can sing as well, so it annoyed me like mad. But I'm there singing I can be a hero. And my brother's there absolutely smashing it. I'm just like, I hate this song. It's a great song, to be fair. A classic, no doubt. But yeah, I could probably do a better version of it now as an adult.
It's just a good song. You wait till those restrictions are lifted and we do get to have that night in the karaoke bar. All of our friends and colleagues will have disappeared out and it'll just be me and you left going, I can be your hero, baby.
Back to back.
Banging out the latest Oasis. Because obviously they've reformed with you now.
Oh, my days. If they reformed, I'd sell my car. I'd sell my car.
Not for the ticket, you just sold it.
Just sell it inside of that. I would sell my car for a ticket if Oasis reformed. Honestly, I would
love to see them. I generally would love to see them.
It's my bucket list in life, that.
Well, get on the phone. Sort them Gallagher brothers out, Daddy. Only you can do it.
Yes. Yeah, that's right. I do have both of their numbers. So.
What if they did this quiz together.
Tell you what, that's a good idea. That imagine that. I'd listen to that, and at the end of it, they're just like, you know what, lads? Yeah.
If you're listening to this, which obviously you are, because you never miss an episode of the Lincolnshire Buzzcast, but get on this quiz and sort it out, because Danny needs to sell his car to see you.
There's no way. There's no way that
if
either
you've
of them.
reformed as a result of this quiz, I feel like we should get free tickets. 'Cause we have that.
Oh wow, one can dream. I would love that. Anyway, next.
In your dream moment, hold on a second.
Oh.
In your dream moment, when they've reformed because they've listened to this podcast and they did the quiz and we did get that free tickets, what if they then, to the one we get to go to, they're then like, Lizzie, Danny, come on stage.
Oh,
sing
God.
The World Awaits us.
Oh,
imagine it, Danny. Imagine it.
Well, I've kind of got that. You know that when Dave.
I bet you play an instrument. You could join in. Do you play an instrument?
A guitar a little bit, but yeah.
I knew it. You look like a guitar player.
Thanks, Lizzie. I'll take that in a good way. Yeah,
it was a good way.
not that it makes me sound like I'm a homeless busker or anything like that.
Why did you take it that way?
Oh, I don't know. I thought it was the beard or something. But yeah, no, I tell you what, if that were to ever happen, like that, that's a moment that you got to seize, haven't you? You just got to seize that moment.
That's the perfect day. The day that Oasis thank us for reforming.
Yeah, and then you get to go out with them afterwards. Oh, I'd love that.
Yes. One can dream. Okay, where are we? Right. Number 6.
If you were able to live to the age of 90 and retain either the mind or body of a 30-year-old for the last 60 years of your life, which would you want?
Okay. Mind, without a shadow of a doubt, I think.
It's
easy to say that, actually, because, I like to think I'm not hinged on looks at all, but that is not true, because there is a lot of things that I'm not confident about myself in the slightest. So I think it would help my confidence a lot if I suddenly ascertain the body of a slamming hottie. It's not likely going to happen, but it'd be helpful. But I think I think actually it would upset me to not have my mind, because I treasure it so much. Like, I treasure being able to read. I treasure being able to think. I like to, write things, read things, be creative. In my job role, I have to be creative. I work in marketing, and obviously the acting thing, and like my whole basis of life is around like creating stuff. And if I didn't have that, like, I just wouldn't feel like myself. Lesser then I would like to be a slamming. Although actually, this is just me retaining my own body, isn't it? So I don't become a slamming hottie. Alexis.
Whether that's singing.
What's going on?
Alexis, tell me how to become a celebrity.
I would 100% be in agreement with you. Like, I don't think it's any secret, like being a lifelong learner, being somebody who learns all the time, and just being curious about it. Yeah, being curious about things, like, yeah, that's what I love. Like, love learning about things and finding out about things, and yeah, I need my mind to do that. Like, I don't necessarily need my body to do that. Part of me wants to play devil's advocate and say body.
You get a certain level of confidence with that, don't you?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not massively bothered about that, to be honest with you. Like, I think it's more of a mind, more of a personality thing.
Listeners, this is an audio podcast, so you can't see Danny. So for those of you that cannot see him, let me tell you, he's an athletically fit gentleman. So maybe this is why he doesn't need to worry about his body so much, because, yeah, you've got the kind of body that men want.
Wow, I mean, that is, I don't really know what to say to that.
I'm supposed to fall in love with you in this quiz, aren't I?
We're only
halfway there.
We're only 6 questions in. What are you going to be like at number 30?
This wedding ring's going to come right off. Oh, dear.
Throw it out the window.
It's not true, Jonathan. I love you. He does listen to this podcast. Just make that quite clear.
Question 10, Johnny. She's throwing that ring off.
Nope. Question. Oh, did you have any more to add with your mind?
With my mind, yeah. No, I just think that you can't wait to do loads of different things across my lifetime, and you want to be able to recall memory and build upon that, don't you? And yeah.
So true. Question 7 then. Do you have a secret hunch about how you will die? Oh dear, this is a bit
No,
intense.
I don't, and I don't believe in horoscopes and all that kind of jazz. So the idea of like somebody in the newspaper telling me that I'm gonna have a good month because the stars are whatever or anything like that, or doing that thing that you can do where you predict, you type it in and you find out what day you're gonna die, like Phoebe from Friends or whatever it was. Just doesn't really like. No. What about you? This is where you go, I absolutely have a hunch.
No. Well, no, I don't follow that kind of theory and things like that. I've always had, so I'm quite scared of heights. And I used to be adamant that I was going to die by falling down the stairs. But I think that's just a fear of
ironic
heights.
because you're so short.
Well, I hate stairs. I hate walking downstairs. I cannot walk. Like, the way to immobilize me is to, near the top of a stairs, put things in my hand because I can't move.
So remembering that.
People asking me to carry stuff downstairs. No, I can't. I have to be holding on to the banister. Like, there's parts in the stadium that don't have a railing.
Yeah.
I can't walk down them. I just can't. For someone who used to do ballet, so has relatively good balance, I can't walk downstairs without holding on to something. I just can't. I had to do it once, and my friend Mel. It's probably one of the worst moments of her life because she was so humiliated. But she got me tickets to a Kasabian gig for my birthday.
Awesome.
And it was at, I feel like it could have been Manchester Arena. But we were right at the very front of like the stally bit on the side. So we had seating places. But to get down to it, it was very steep and there was no railing. And we had, not only was there no railing, but I also had, because we'd got like some snacks, wasn't it? So I had stuff in my hand too. So that was doubly bad for me. And I couldn't do it. So I had to hold on to people's seats as I went down. And and it's to the point that one of the stadium people came up to me and was like, "Do you need some assistance, ma'am?" And I literally had to turn to her and go, I'm not disabled or anything. I'm just scared. Go away. Like, my friend was absolutely mortified that she just walked in front and sat down and pretended like she wasn't with me.
Wow. I had no idea that you were like that. I love the idea, by the way, you being at the football match, the good old Sinsel Bank, and having to like piggyback a pensioner to get down the steps or something like that because you refuse.
I can't do it. I have to hold on to something. I absolutely have to. And on that, I can't do downward escalators either for the same reason, because there's not enough time to pick your step. Like, they just go too fast. There's firing off steps like nobody's business, and you've got not enough time to pick of them before it throws you off the end of the cliff. It's just too dangerous. I don't understand how people do it. I can go up them, but not down them. And I tried once and I had children, so I had, it might have been Lydia, in my arms to try and go down, and there was I couldn't find it was the quickest way, and I had to get out there fast, so I was trying really hard, but a queue was building behind me because I couldn't get onto the step. And one of again, people keep trying to help me in these scenarios, and it's not good, because the woman said to me, "Are you okay? Would you like me to hold you back so you can get on?" And I just was like, "I'm not ready to be healed today," and I literally just ran away.
Oh my God. I had no idea.
I can't
wait to talk to Hannah about this and you and your debilitating fear of escalators and steps.
Just don't put me near any steps and it's okay.
Jeez. Right.
So yeah, I feel like I'm going to die in some sort of heights related. I used to have a recurring dream where I fell out of a plane, which was horrifying. So I don't know if that's like a premonition into the way I die.
Yeah, maybe. Recurring dreams are difficult territory, aren't they? Skydiving, by the way, amazing. Like, not something to fear. Like,
not
incredible.
a chance. Obviously, as a fundraiser, I do lots of things for a fundraiser, and I'm sure I would have raised a lot of money skydiving because people know how much I would be terrified. But there is not, like, even the thought of it now, even talking about it, makes me want to vomit. Like,
well, no, honestly, like the best buzz. I think
I couldn't do it. Literally, it just part of my legs is going really stiff now with fear because I think you might push me out of a plane, even though you're in Lincoln, I'm in Broughton, and there's a thing between us. But just talking about it makes me think you're going to push me out of a plane at some point. So no, Johnny, don't.
Okay, well, we'll move on. We'll move on. No, I banked that though, and I wrote that down.
Yeah, you're going to start putting things. You're going to follow me around till I get to top of the stairs and go, just hold this.
Yeah, I'm just going to give you a cake or something.
Oh no!
Something
You know
that-
how much I like cake.
That's not what I meant, fuck. I meant something that might fall over. But
Yes, but you know I'd want to protect the cake.
that is true. You would. Yeah, we all would. I think we all would. Depends on what type of cake, though. Depends on what type of cake. So, question number 8. Name 3 things you and your partner appear to have in common. We'll skip past that one.
Appear? I don't like how it says the word appear. Like,
Yeah.
I think we have this in common. But yes, let's skip past.
9. For what in life do you feel most grateful? Oh, deep.
Well, it would be remiss as me for a parent if not to say my children.
True.
I do genuinely feel very grateful for them, even when they're like tonight, screaming at the thought of not eating their tea, etc. I do, I love the bones of them. I'm very grateful for them because they're hard work, but they do get you through some of the toughest days as well. So grateful for them. And I'm grateful for my husband. He needs to get some love in this podcast just to make sure. No, I am not just for that reason. I am
It's
genuinely
getting dangerously close to question 10, Johnny. That's all I'm saying.
I am genuinely grateful for him because me and Johnny were friends, very close friends before we became anything else. And marrying your best friend is an honour. So
Wow.
I'm grateful for Johnny.
Yeah. How do I? That's a great answer. Like you are. What am I grateful? I know what I'm grateful. I'm grateful for all of the people in my life that I am close to. I feel really privileged to have met the people that I've met and grow to be friends, and the people in my family. Yeah, I feel really, really grateful to all of them because, especially over this time period, over the past time period, you find out really who is there and who isn't. Yeah, I feel really, really grateful to all the people in my life. I've been really lucky, really, really lucky. I know how lucky I am. So yeah, I feel really, really grateful for that.
See, you did do a good answer. Question 10, is this the one where I throw the ring away?
This is absolutely the one, yeah.
Imagine going out from that question and to throw my ring away. It has to be pretty good. If you could change anything about the way you were raised, what would it be?
If anything about the way that I was raised. See, I'm going to play devil's advocate on that. Like, I wouldn't change anything because I wouldn't be the person that I am now, and I wouldn't be. Yeah, that's a difficult topic for me, but I wouldn't change anything. Like, I am the person that I am now. I would potentially change maybe how hard things were for people around me, if I could, but I wouldn't change anything for me personally because, like, whether some things happen. We all have things in life that happen, like that are really sad about in the moment. That but actually. I wouldn't have met all the people that I've met right now, and I feel really grateful for everything that I have right now. And I wouldn't want to do anything that changed any of that. So, yeah, just to play devil's advocate. But yes, what about you?
I think I'd agree with that because I think, I am the way I am because of how I was raised. There's lots of things. I've made a lot of mistakes in my life, but I wouldn't change a single one of them because I wouldn't have got where I was today, like at all, ever. Me and Johnny could have got together years ago, actually, before we actually ever did. But we both openly said that if we did, we were different people then. It might not have worked. So no mistakes, no regrets from him. Mum and Dad, I think, did a good job, actually. As if I do say so myself.
Regular listeners, clearly.
They didn't have a lot of money. We didn't have a lot of money growing up, but I learned the value of money as a result. I don't think we ever really wanted for anything either. So they worked hard to get us stuff that we needed, but we were never given it on a plate. We they gave me probably enough freedom and enough rules as well for me to be able to make my own mistakes and learn from them. I do look back sometimes thinking I did have a lot of freedom, actually, and I can't imagine giving that kind of freedom to my daughter. But it's a different world. It's a different world.
Yeah. But I think
Just consoling myself with the fact it was a different world.
I think we've spoken about this a lot, but we actually went to the same primary school, didn't we? And
we did.
And when we spoke about
Rotten primary school, for all those primary school people out there, me and Danny learnt Wig Bam Bam. You'll know what that means if you went to Brock Primary.
But I don't know about you, but I can look back at it, and maybe it's because I'm a little bit biased now, doing what I do now, and being involved in what I'm involved in now and professionally. But like, I feel like that was an amazing environment, like to grow up in a primary school where it was really creative. It was really inspiring. Like, it made you think that you were more capable than what you were. Loved residentials, like, it was epic. It had a proper family.
Robin Hood's Bay.
Robin Hood's Bay, one of my favourite places in the world. Robin Hood's Bay, like, love Robin Hood's Bay. And I actually know some people that went to the school as well that would say the same. That like, they love Robin Hood's Bay. A friend of mine actually posted a picture at the weekend on Instagram, and she was at Robin Hood's Bay, and it looked pretty epic. And I was like, wow! It just reminds me instantly of the feeling of being at that school. And maybe at the time, because you're too cool to admit it, but actually looking back, wow, big part of who I am. That's cool. Definitely.
Yeah, and actually what was amazing about it is it's the same experience every year, because obviously the head was there for quite a while.
Yes.
But it's the same setup. So you're obviously a few years behind me, but you would have still done the same thing I have, because it was the same program they've done. So like, we weren't there together, but it was almost like we were, because the same things happen. Like, everyone gets caught in this fake smuggling run.
Yeah, which we've never spoke about that, but all my days, yeah. I love that.
Everyone gets caught, possibly also in the same place. And I remember being caught in the openings, and I think a lot of people were caught in the openings or wherever that was, but like, everyone had this, a similar horror story told. Like, the head teacher used to sit there and tell like ghost stories before he went to bed. Like, it was just great. Like, it's the same, they did it every year round, but everyone went heather flopping. I remember that because my daughter went.
Oh my days. Wow.
Because they were still doing it when she was there, and I remember they were saying that we're going heather flopping. What is it? And we were absolutely winded up going, it's a girl called Heather, and you jump on her, obviously. And she was like, no, really, what is it? And I was like, I'm not going to tell you, you'll find out when you get there. Like, it's just the thought of, actually, if you tell people that now who didn't go, like, we went into a field with lots of heather and jumped on it. Like, it's just, what is that?
Yeah, and wow, like, you're properly helping me to remember, because there's some bits of it that I found really difficult to remember. But like, I moved away not too long after that, so I never really spoke to many people about it. But yeah, no, I loved that, and that was a really special place. Like, I think we were raised, we were really lucky to go to a primary school like that. I feel.
Absolutely, yeah, absolutely, 100% agree.
Right, question number 11. Oh, let's get past that one. I respectfully...
listeners, you were waiting for that awkward moment. This is it.
Yeah, I respectfully would want to decline on that one. Question 12. So, if you could wake up tomorrow having gained any one quality or ability, what would it be?
Well, let me take you back, Danny, and listeners, to
1974.
To a time when a good old 90s TV program called Bernard's Watch. Now, I would like that watch.
Got no idea what that is.
You've got no... Oh, Danny, you're so young.
Sorry. I knew you'd be a little bit disappointed in that.
Bernard, he had this watch. He was a little stopwatch. He was a little boy, and I can't remember where he got it from in the world. But he used to press it, and when he pressed it, time stopped. And it was amazing. You could do a little trick. Sometimes he play little pranks on people, and turn them facing the other way and put stuff in. Or usually he did it to get about his day and things to make things go smoothly, or get himself out of a fix and stuff. But I so want that watch. If not for pause it, have another little bit of a sleep.
Yeah.
Pause it. Like when things are at work, there's a lot to do, and you think, I can't do all this stuff. Like, just pause it. Like, take stock of the situation, come back in again. I did a few live radio interviews today. It probably would have been quite nice to be able to pause that and think about the question before answering it.
Yep, definitely.
Things like that. But yeah. I used to really want that, and I still really do want that, because I think it would be nice sometimes, especially like in situations where you think you're about to lose your head, and you can just pause it and just have a couple of breaths and come back, or like just take a few minutes out or something like that and come back in, and then enjoy the moment that you're in. Because I think I miss stuff. I think I don't treasure enough of the moments with the kids and stuff like that, because I'm too busy doing things and stuff like that. So I think I just like that watch to like just pause it a minute and be like, get myself together and come back in and actually be in the moment. So yeah, I want the watch.
Yeah.
I mean, I probably age much faster than everyone else. The result is if I'm taking so much time out.
No, surely you'd inherit that power as well. That would be in there, wouldn't it?
I'd like to think so. I wouldn't be like, give it 10 years time and everyone's, just, loving middle age, and I'm like, hello. Like, oh, you've had a hard paper round.
Yeah, my days. I think I quite like that. I'm not going to steal that exactly, but I think I quite like the idea of being able to revisit moments in my life properly, authentically, like remember everything about it, be in the moment again, not be able to change anything that happened, but like remember the moment. Like I can think of many things, but I can think of football matches. I can think of just moments like that. I can think of moments of being like a gig with my mates and just being completely in like euphoria, really. Just, things like that. I can remember being in moments with people where you just remember how amazing one individual moment was and how you felt at the time. I think it'd be amazing to do that. I wouldn't want to know about the future.
Like a time machine to go back, but you'd not
change anything. Never change anything.
You're in your old body, so you're not like watching it from afar. You are back in your old body.
Yeah, but you're not able to change anything.
See, that'd be quite nice. I'd like to go back to my wedding day and do that again, because looking back at it, I was because we organised the whole thing ourselves. It was like a festival wedding, and it was so stressful leading on up to it, like that I almost just wanted the day to be over,
which is really
so I didn't
sad.
have to plan it anymore. Which is so. Lots of people come away and tell me that was the greatest wedding they've ever been to, because by nature it was a festival. We had loads of different local bands. Like, there was just a barbecue. It was supposed to be really chilled out because that's what we wanted. But I was not like, I was just like, oh, what's next and that kind of stuff. And I wish I'd go back and enjoy the day that everyone told me they enjoyed, because I didn't. Luckily we sort of had 2 days because we had to get married at the registry office first. And that to me was a lovely day, because that was just us and we got married. But like that actual wedding day, the one that everyone remembers and everyone goes to, it was just so stressful for me.
Yeah.
I would like to go back and enjoy it.
Yeah, a friend of mine's getting married Christmas time 2022, and he was sort of saying the other day that he's quite a self-centered person as well, quite a bold person that will do almost pretty much anything for himself and his partner. But like, he's finding it difficult with the family things to please everybody and all that kind of stuff, and he's making jokes about who my plus one's going to be and all that kind of stuff and stuff like that.
Well,
but
me
like,
by the end of this, because we'll be in love with each other.
It could be. It's probably for the best that we don't answer all these questions. And and it should be about the two most important people on the day, shouldn't it?
It should. So, classic advice to anyone who is about to get married is to try and enjoy it. Actually, I know loads of people who've had a
marriage as a whole, just the wedding day.
I love the marriage, but
try and enjoy it.
But I know a lot of people who some people actually, and I've never got this. Some people finish the day and they're like, "Oh, I wish I could do it all again and plan it again." Absolutely not. I hated every minute of planning it. Like, it was horrible. Just because it turned. I don't know. It was just. It was the day we wanted. I just didn't get a chance to enjoy it. Like, it was exactly the day we wanted, because we did it on our own terms and we didn't plan it. We literally didn't do it for anyone like else. We just did it how we wanted it, which should have on paper been really good. But because I didn't have anyone else involved in it, I had to do it all myself. So yeah, it just feels a bit like that. So there isn't a time machine to go back and enjoy it. So enjoy it now.
Like it.
Okay, let's pick 2 random questions for the 2 different sets, so we can give the listener an idea of what these go into. As your friend, this question's probably more prevalent to me, so I will ask this one. What do you value most in a friendship?
It's a toss-up between laughter and integrity for me. Like, I think, like, I need to know my mates are there, like, because I'm there unequivocally. Like, I do anything for my closest mates, absolutely anything for any of them. And I would say that about my closest mates, definitely. But laughter as well. Life's about laughter, isn't it? It's about having a laugh, and I don't take myself too seriously. And I feel like I surround myself with people that are quite happy to take the mick out of me, but I really like that. So yeah, laughter or integrity, probably I'd say integrity. I think I just want to know that genuinely who they are, and because that's what I'll be. So yeah. What about you?
Very similar, actually. I'd say probably above all else, I value trust more than anything. Trust and honesty. I am, and I spoke about this with my team, actually, because we did a little exercise today in terms of what we're like as people. We did a whole 16 personalities quiz, what we value most, because I think it's important when you work in a team that you do know that about each other. And one of the things I shared was that I, as a person, I will trust everyone straight away, instantly. I always trust first. But break that trust with me and it's a different story, because I find it very hard to get that back after that. So if someone's ever broken my trust, I cannot be friends with someone I don't trust. I find it difficult to have a working relationship with someone I don't trust. Like, for that's probably one of the most important things to me. So honesty and trust, probably for me in a friendship. I need to know that my friend is my friend.
Right, question or set number 3. Question. There's some good questions here.
Give you some highlights.
Honestly, you can see them as well, can't you? They're deep.
So let me see. When was the last time you cried in front of another person?
Yeah, I was literally just reading that. Yeah.
Share with your partner the most embarrassing moment in your life. I feel like I share them too often on this podcast.
Yeah, I feel like
probably good there.
Yeah.
It was probably the boob slipping out incident, which we've already discussed.
My days, yeah. Okay. What about if we end it in a nice way? So number 31 is tell your partner. Obviously, me and you in this context. Sorry,
well,
John.
we are together now.
We are exactly, yeah. and it is legally binding as well. So.
What?
Did you not know that? Oh, okay. It's like a spell. If you ask all these questions, and eventually it just becomes legally binding at the end. Did I not tell you that?
I'm going to have to ask all these to Johnny now to reverse the spell.
No, that's not how it works, I'm afraid. The original spell is the original spell that's cast is the most powerful one. Come on.
I'm making stuff up.
Number 31 is tell your partner something that you liked about them already. So that's you to me, and then I'll go.
What do I like about Danny? I like lots of things about Danny.
I'm going to say, don't pause for too long, because
I'm just trying to pick the best one. I like lots of things about Danny. I think what I like about you, Danny, I think I probably take the mick out of you all the time, but a lot of it is your thirst for knowledge is actually very endearing. Like, I do like that about you. I like how dedicated you are to learning more things and how honest you are that you don't know everything. So you're always willing to learn something. So even when we've spoken about something and you've been quite passionate about it, you're always willing. You've got such an open mind that you're willing to actually hear the other side, and you don't find that often. You talk to some people and you'd go into a conversation and think something, but after someone else has talked to your point of view, you can leave with your mind having been changed, when it's such a good quality to have, because not a lot of people will go in with that bias and it never be changed, but you are willing to learn from everyone. So I think that's an amazing quality.
Thank you. Right, thank you. I feel like I've learned from you. I feel like as much as me, you and Hannah are friends, I feel like I learn from the two of you, and I feel like I'm always open-minded. Always try and be open-minded, and always try and be respectful, and Yeah. So thank you.
Welcome. And this is quite a good thing because you hate taking compliments. So
do,
this is an interesting question for you to pick.
I was going red throughout that then. I mean, it's quite a lot of things. I would say for you, I think knowing you like I do now, I feel like I don't feel like there's many people that I would ever meet that could be quite as good as friend and quite as supportive of the people that you are genuinely really close to and friends with than you. I think that like you're very much all in, very much like you. I don't know whether you'll like me saying this or not, but you're very.
Did you say homely?
No. I was going to say motherly. I was going to say I feel like had I known you when you didn't have children, I feel like you still would have been really supportive. I feel like it's something that is genuine about you. That is, yeah. I feel like that's just you. I feel like you build up the people around you rather than bring them down, and I really like that about you.
Thank you. That's very nice to say. What a wonderful way to end the podcast.
Absolutely. What a lovely way. That was really nice, that wasn't it? Okay, thank you all for listening. I hope you've enjoyed that. It was very different to what we would do usually, but sometimes we like to go off the beaten track and try something a little bit different. And we look forward to seeing you all again soon.
If you liked this episode of the Lincolnshire Buzzcast, and in fact any other previous episodes of the Lincolnshire Buzzcast, please do not forget to click the subscribe button. This allows you to get notified every time we drop a new episode, and it helps us to know that you are actually listening and like us. Thanks!